Right, so here we are, we're back at the crossroads again with St Faith's behind you, and what we're going to do now is take a walk down South Street. Now in front of us you'll see here on the right hand side there's a little timber frame building we're coming up on, and that is the old House at Home pub, which is the oldest surviving building in Havant. And where we're walking now is where the market building used to be. Now, the first market building was built way back in the 16th century and was so poorly built it quite literally collapsed back into the road, and then it was rebuilt and became in such a state again by the 1700s. It was subsequently pulled down again, and I believe by looking at it when you go into the pub it looks like it's been repaired using some of the timbers from that construction. Now a lot of the buildings on the left hand side of the street, they've all changed a hell of a lot of them were little tiny timber frame cottages. But again, there was another pub here, the Anchor, where unfortunately a young sailor took his life suffering from depression. And then we'll continue down here where Rumbelows used to be and Bee Jams. I'm sure you remember those names. Here's the old House at Home. Quite amusingly enough, just across the road from the old House at Home is where there used to be a garage, and the garage used to supply fuel to the cars, and you'll never believe it, the fuel tank for the garage was in the basement of the old House at Home. So you can imagine when health and safety heard that, they had to pretty much rip it out straight away. So let's carry on down here. There's a fantastic old building. It's still got a pole in there where they used to have a dancing bear, poor thing. It's buried in the back garden now. Let's cross over here. Now someone's etched this date of 1339. Now that could come from just about anywhere. It doesn't necessarily relate to the age of the pub, but it was not originally a pub, it was two separate houses which has been converted into a pub. So I did have a write up here somewhere. Where is it? Here we are. So yes, it's the oldest dwelling house in Havant, that's right. So across the road here anyway, don't pay any attention to that bit over the top. There used to be a gateway there, and that would take you into the yard where Gloyn's Brewery, another large brewery, was. And that building there that you see through the arch, that is pretty much all that's left of the boiler house and the malting room. There's some writing on the wall here dating back from the early 20th century. You can just about still make it out. It's up there, it's got motor carriages and taxis. And just here on the wall you'll see it's still got the hinges for its old gates, the gates that used to stay here to seal off the yard. Now I did notice this bit here sticking out of the wall, and because there's a pipe coming out of the ground here, I'm kind of under the impression that this is where the petrol stand used to be, and then the tank, as I say, was in the basement of the pub. And that's pretty much where the handle would have sat, I would imagine. It might be something else, you might know better than I do. Anyway, let's carry on down South Street.